Welcome to Professor Sky's Spam Channel. Well, I'm just too precious with this thing. This is supposed to be where I just say whatever. My videos on this channel are just too good. So I'm just going to start farting out some more videos. Ooh, I regret using that word. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're watching a guy in a suit in a college, a real professor who just said that. So there's been a thing. Hey, I'm on YouTube, so that means I either have to say something against woke culture or against Tucker Carlson or Ben Shapiro. So I'm all out of Ben Shapiro thoughts, so I have to do something about Tucker Carlson. It's not even that I have to. I mean, it is that I have to. It's not even that I want to. I don't want to be another hack on YouTube trying to take down the grinning face of white supremacy. I want to, do other stuff. I want to talk about music. I want to talk about art. But there's something that I've missed in the discourse that is not, I have not seen it mentioned in the videos or in the responses to Tucker Carlson going to a Russian supermarket. Now, supporting despotic totalitarian regimes, that's not even what I'm talking about here. This is from a food perspective. This is from an American imperialist perspective. Because the whole time he's going through, and first of all, he's shopping like an American, right? He's buying cereal, right? I mean, the most American thing you can buy. He doesn't know the difference between flour and sugar. Why in the world would... Anyways, just all these kinds of things. It's very clear he doesn't really know what a supermarket's like. That's fine. He comes from wealth. I'm not mad at him for coming from wealth. I am mad at him for saying, look at how low the bill is when the wages there are so low. So it's not like the inflation. Inflation is better in America than it is in most of the world. But that doesn't matter. I'm not even talking about that stuff. I'm talking about this scene with the bread, which is so offensive in so many ways. Here, if you haven't seen it, let's watch it again. Okay, I'll get my my high-tech system here for you to watch videos. This is how I do things, Professor Skyland.
Russia is famous for its bread, which is one thing I can assess pretty well. The low-carb lifestyle has not swept Russia. Thank heaven, because look at that. It's fresh too. Look at that. Oh, come on.
Okay, so let's take this frame by frame it, okay? Let's start off with his first assertion.
Now, Russia is famous for its bread.
No, it's not. You dolt. Russia is not famous for its bread. You see, you're doing what's called word association. You're getting little thoughts in your head, and you hear Russia, and you hear bread, and you go, oh, those things go together. No, dingus. Russia is famous for its bread lines. It's famous for its food insecurity in communism. It's famous because people, let's be honest, people of your political persuasion were selling the Americans, often accurately, the idea that Russia was a communist hellscape where people didn't have access to basic needs like bread, which should be reinforced on American news night after night after night after night with pictures of poor Russians and babushkas and the whole thing, and they're in line and they're waiting for bread. Russia is not famous for its bread. I'm sure they have fine bread. It's Europe. And here he is, not even at a bakery. He's salivating over supermarket bread, even in countries where there's great bread. Like the supermarket bread you can get in France is good, but it's still not a bakery. And so he's so proud of his stuff, and he shows this stuff up, but look at what he's showing off.
Which is one thing I can assess pretty well.
Why? Why can you assess it pretty well? Because you're the Swanson's heir? Because microwave TV dinners are what puts you through private school? Is that why you can assess pretty well? Why? What makes you an expert? What do you understand by touching a piece of bread wrapped up in plastic?
The low-carb lifestyle has not swept Russia.
Oh, that's true. Good point, Tucker. Down with low-carb stuff. That was always a crock.
Thank heaven, because look at that.
Look at what? Look at what? Look at what, Tucker? What kind of bread is that? What is it that we're looking at? That could be sausage, for all I know. You're not saying it. You're just saying look at it. You get the stupid piano going on behind you, like a player piano in an old West saloon, and you're just look at that. Look at what? Look at what? Oh, hey, do you want to see this is the sandwich I made for myself. Look at that. You don't even know what's in my sandwich. But then it gets worse.
It's fresh too.
How? How do we know it's fresh? It's in plastic. How to get wrapped up in plastic? It's in a supermarket. How would you know it's fresh? It's fresh too. You haven't opened it up. You haven't felt it. You haven't squeezed it. You've done nothing to assert whether or not it is fresh.
Look at that.
Now, everyone's laughing because this seems sexual. I don't care about it seeming sexual. Look at what? It's just a loaf of white bread wrapped up in plastic. This is not some famous Russian bread. And then he does this.
Come on.
What's he smelling? What is he smelling? What in the world is this dude smelling? It is a loaf of bread wrapped in plastic. It's all theater. So anyways, the main point I wanted to just drive home is how offensive it is. This sort of metonymical madness of like, Russia is known for its bread. So he's trying to prove that Russia is a place of material comfort. And so he says it's famous for its bread. But by saying that, he reminds you of the geopolitical shift where conservatives have gone from disliking Russia to appreciating Russia, like in the same moment. So anyways, that's my spam channel now. That's what I'm doing. So do you like it? I don't care. I don't even know how to monetize the stupid thing right now. I got to figure that out. All right. Here's a picture of Grover that I drew for my daughter. Near? Far. There's the camera.